Hello guys, welcome back to the Podtel podcast. I'm your host Vivian, and today we're going to talk about youths and politics. And today I have very interesting guests. So they're going to introduce themselves, starting from this end. Yeah.
So hello guys, my name is Dennis Kamogin. I'm a student at Machakos University. This is my first time in the Podtel podcast, and I'm passionate about youth politics and youth affairs. It is said there is an African parable that says, if you close your eyes to the truth, you learn it through regrets. Thank you and God bless you.
My name is Sandra Limo. I am a first timer at Podtel podcast, and I'm excited to be part of this set.
What do you do? Sorry, my name is Kiprotich Limo. I'm part of Podtel podcast crew. I'm always behind the scene. I'm the creative director. And I'm happy to be here. Yes.
Karibuni sana. So kama venye mmesikiza our topic today imekuwa, acha tuanze kusema na from last year after election we've had a lot of maandamanos and different perspective on politics. So we've decided to have this topic today because tumeona venye youth wamekuwa involved so much in politics. And kwanza story ya maandamano, by the way, it's not something we are proud of. First of all, now the way youths are taking part in it, we need to be concerned and speak out, si ndio?
Very true.
So tukianza na huku, what is the most important issues facing youth in politics today? Like ni nini important sana kenye youth tunafaa tu inatu face kama youth in politics?
The most important thing ambayo nafikiria ni youth participation in politics. That is the most important thing. So far, judging by the demographics that I've always researched and seen, 75% of the Kenyan youth form 75% of its population, and so as Africa. So seeing the youth participating in politics and them vying for various positions in politics has always been something that is very appreciating. So that is the best thing that I've seen so far.
Anything you want to add?
Probably I'd say it's very important for youth to be part of politics because politics affects us in all ways, in like directly. It affects us directly, and I feel like it's very, very important as youth we should be involved either directly or indirectly, as in do not be ignorant.
Okay, to add on his point, I'd say in as much as it's such a tough conversation to have, considering you do not want to create a stereotype for yourself by having these conversations. I think it's important that we take charge and have these conversations for us to, let's say, improve it, because I mean, he said we are 75% of the population, so that's a big number. Yeah.
Okay, to add on it, my friend there said that ignorance. We all know that ignorance is not bliss. And finding that the youth are engaging themselves in politics, I always say that nobody can afford the luxury of being apolitical. We must be apolitical. Economics nowadays is run by politics. Education is run by politics. Everything is run by politics. If you want to be left out, then we don't afford the luxury of being out of politics. We must be in it. And in order to be in it, we must encourage that the youth be part of it. And that is the best thing that I've seen so far in our sector.
Okay, so tumeona venye youths are taking part in politics. Youths want to be heard, their voices want to be heard. So what is the most effective ways to make their voices heard? Sandra?
You see, I'd say for us to participate directly, unfortunately, I feel like we are being given a very small percentage of us, of ourselves, of our age in, let's say, spaces like maybe the legislature. We only have, for example, the national parliament, we only have 2 youth representatives, which I think is a bit unfair, considering even if I want to vie in election, like let's say I want to vie for an MP seat, and there's someone who's older than me, maybe someone who's definitely not a youth, someone who has been in this space for so long, I feel like they are more likely to get elected more than I am likely to get elected, just because I'm a youth, number one, and just because most of the people who vote are not even youths. Yeah. Most of the people who vote, like myself, and I'm ashamed to say this, I did not vote in the previous elections. So I feel like in the
You
next
failed us.
elections,
You have failed.
yes,
You
I have
failed
failed
us.
it. That's why I feel that I'm
Not part
shameful.
of government.
But I think most youths don't vote mainly because they feel like it's just useless for them to do it, because hata wakifanya kuna venye haitawasaidia.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
They're
There's
like,
someone
sambona niende nipange line 6 am na inisaidi.
Then we should not be complaining because we make a difference. If 4 of us together to vote against someone, they'll have more 4 votes on them, and then the opponent atakuwa na less 4 votes. Unaona?
Exactly.
So it's up to us
Up to
to
us.
step up.
Up
You
to
said
the
you are
people.
complaining. You're saying that the government is only giving 2 youths the being youth representative. I don't believe we should be given kama kurumio. Let's go there and take those spaces. The young people who are voted in, like Toto from Bomet, wacha nikwambie, ni sisi tu wenyewe we step up and take this opportunity. Let's not play victim. Let's not play victim tuseme sisi ni wadogo. I'm pretty sure ukiamka na uende uombe kura unaweza patiwa. Ni ile tu sisi wenyewe tujiamue. So I'll not wish us to take ile point we are victims, hatutapatiwa and everything. Of course it's a challenge because they see us as young, they see us they feel like you do not have the enough capacity to run that political position, but other youths have done it, so it's up to us to do it.
Or even the money. There's some things that it's just about, politics come with money. So the more money you have, the more chances you get to have a seat at the parliament or whatever seat you want to nini.
For me, as a communication strategist, I always say it's all about the narrative and the story that you create. We have people who go to parliament without money. Of course, it's in rare cases. But if you package yourself well, na uombe kura useme ni aje, mimi sina kitu ya kupatia, lakini nikiingia pale nitawapatia mabadiliko. Ndio utanyimwa kura, lakini at least umesimama. You get my point? But sisi kama vijana generally inafaa to change ile mindset ya lazima nikupe do ndio univotie. Unaona? Ile ukiona mwanasiasa ni pesa tu. That's why when they get to these positions they run away because tena politician tu saizi ya macho mheshimiwa, ya macho. Remember he has a family, he has goals, he has everything. Unaona? So tuanze na kuchange attitude yetu kwanza generally. Tuchague mse mwenye ataweka pale ataweka policies ambaye they are pro youth. You get? Mtu mwenye atasema ni aje, if you start a company probably you might be exempted of tax for the first 3 years so long as it's a startup. Unaona? Vitu kama hizo so that tupate kujiendeleza. But let's not go there for people who have money and everything. So it's us to change our attitude.
Yeah, by the way, I can add with that. We the youth will always complain that we are tired of recycling leaders. They feel is tilted to a certain direction. We say that the millennials are taking what the Gen Z are supposed to have. We'll always complain, but opportunities are never given. We fight for opportunities.
Yeah, take them.
So as we fight for opportunities, then we must take the risk. Taking the risk means we must go to the battleground, go head on, and maybe try our luck. Sometimes even I've seen some leaders like Toto. You said Toto. I've seen a small story about her. She went and campaigned. She had absolutely zero resources.
Funding,
zero funding, and through the empathy of the voters, he was given the vote. Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking about money and finance, African politics and more so Kenyan politics, you must have the financial muscle in order to win that seat. So speaking about then we as Kenyans and Africans, we must understand that Kenyan and African politics has no. It is very dirty by itself. It is very dirty.
But it's
What is ethical? What is ethical is not right. What is right is not pleasing. Yeah. So we must understand and accept our fate.
It is us who has commercialized the politics.
Yeah.
Juu ukienda pale mama mboga anakwambia nipe, ukimnyima atakunyima kura. You get?
Yeah.
Atakwambia ni aje wapi yetu. Unaona? Sasa ni sisi to change your attitude ya kusema do not be bribed. That's why unajua huyo politician akiingia pale anaenda kurefando yake.
Definitely.
They have invested. They have taken time, wamefuel magari, wameprint posters, t-shirts, and more so handouts. Handouts sana. Actually, votes are bought.
Yeah.
Whoever has money and they are, and of course a sweet tongue, most of the time they always get away with it. So ni sisi tutukue wajanja, we become more smarter, we say niaje, in as much as you give me this money it won't last me, you get na huwezi patia pesa mingi. Hakuna mwanasiasa atakupatia more than 20,000. This one they get good money are the opinion leaders, those people who have they make a difference for society. Mwenye akisema twende this way they can lure people. But you kama wewe hata wewe huwezi convince mtu akue rafiki yako, what do you think atakupea more than 20,000?
Wengine wanapeana chumvi
Manzejo, hata wengine wanapeana zero diet, unaona. So I believe ni sisi tuka vijana we fix our attitude, unaona. Usiseme lazima nipewe kitu ndo nipeane. Let us choose someone based on their beliefs, their character,
their abilities,
and their ability and their capacities and what they want to do. Una manifesto ndio inafai guide who to vote for.
I have a question.
Yes.
You said you should vote people in because of their character, their beliefs, their manifesto, right?
Yes.
But now there's this saying, they say absolute power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So,
That is true.
yeah, so how then you'd find someone, for example, sahi nikuje niseme mimi nitawajengea barabara and I'm genuine, nitawajengea barabara, but ikifika now I'm elected and I want to now start constructing these roads, you guys don't see me constructing a road. It was just false because people don't come written I'm a liar, I'm going to steal your money. It's not written on your forehead. So it's just blind trust. So my question is, how do you, is there a way that you can tell someone is genuine about their manifesto? Is there a way that you can say that someone is genuine about what they want to do for you?
It depends. Number one, we judge people by what they say. You are the sum of the many things that you repeatedly do. So if you lie, that means you just a very high, you're going to lie. So unaangalia track record. This someone amekuwa wapi? If for example they were in the corporate, what have they done in corporate? In leadership capacities, what have they done to change the environment and to make a difference? That's one way of checking. And then number two, kama ingekuwa sisi kama youth, you've gone through campus. By any chance probably ushaikuwa class rep and everything. Wanafunzi wenzako wanasema nini kuhusu? Are you reliable? Mtu anaweza kupigia wakati yako na noma and then umsaidie out of like your willingness to help. Unaona? Uko na ile heart ya people's heart, unaweza saidia watu. That is number two. Sometimes kuna ile sasa kama sisi youth. I've never held a public office. I've only been a student leader. I want to believe I've been a good one. I've been a good student leader. That one is it's out there.
It's given.
So number two, probably mnaweza nipea nafasi and then they say patia mtu pesa ujue ni nani. Sitaki kusema nimeshika pesa mingi sana. Lakini nimeshika 70. My point is you the power corrupts. When power corrupts, there's another chance to vote. You vote them out. Isifike your point, they lure you with money again and then you forget. Get? Inakuwa toxic relationship whereby ikifika point where they need you, they give you money and then you no longer see their sins. You see them as an angel.
Wanakublindfold with money.
Unaona ikifika hiyo point nyingine, wewe mwenyewe tu kuwa sober na ujembeni aje, this guy did us bad and mimi mwenyewe I'll make an initiative. Sitamvotia and the people I influence, my friends, my family. Wabinaje, this is a thief, this is someone who does not keep their word and don't deserve this position. Tuwaangushe. Number two, if for example, they said they gave us their manifesto like 2 years down the line and then there's no signs of them delivering on what they said. For example, washapatiwa hiyo pesa kama ni CDF, kama ni county, ama position yote. So they are given a budget. If for example they are not going to do what they are supposed to be, there are ways of kutoa mtu kwa power. Nyinyi mmesoma sheria kidogo. Si mnaweza collect hizo nini? We can collect the signatures. Tuende kijiji kwa kijiji, siko na tuko na vijana enough. I think for an MP is 1,000 signatures, ama ni 10,000. Unaweza fanya, you can do such an initiative, you and your friends, you get.
Do you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, adding on that, we've all agreed that history illuminates the future. Looking at somebody's track record will always judge if that person is eligible to be in that office. So my question is, we as Africans and also as Kenyans, do we have a structure that maybe enables those leaders to sift through and maybe we test them, are they eligible to hold that office?
I believe the only way, like we've always said, prior to the election, that is our work as electors to do. Because akishaingia kwa ofisi, there's no any other place they are going to account. And let me tell you something, the people who are smart the politicians, and they always take advantage of the electorate's ignorance. You get?
Yeah.
Wanajua, these people are busy with their lives. They'll complain 1-2 days, ama they'll come pay. The ones that are vocal, watakuja either they'll be threatened or they are going to be paid. Thankfully, sisi demokrasia yetu tuko juu kidogo, ile mambo ya extrajudicial killings zinapungua. So most of the time they'll leave you upige kelele, and then but tukishikana as a people tuende to complain, hata yeye mwenyewe atastuka. Atajua ni aje my people. Hata if you stage a protest, hata wao wanaogopa hiyo the attention ya media. They know it's going to impact them negatively.
Yeah.
And most of them hawapendi kamera. Very, very few. Hata when niko sure, we have 290 elected MPs. You barely know 30.
I know.
You barely know 30. The rest wanaogopa kamera kabisa. You get? So tukisema tuungane hapa nini, it might work. Anaweza kuja jenge barabara ama atuunge. But mtasikizwa. It might make a difference.
That reminds me of one of my own member of parliament back at home. Marakwet East.
You are my homie, man.
That reminds me of
We shall change that place.
I always just see him
Mbona
in the parliament.
Oh, you also you
Yes.
You shall
I
vote for
belong
me.
there.
I shall remove you.
Nafaa turudi nyumbani.
Let me say I'm disappointed with him because sometimes when I look at the proceedings of parliament, I always just see him with a cup of tea at the top there.
He's having fun.
Yeah, having fun. Just having fun.
He's a
I remember
spectator.
the other time they were looking at the finance bill. People were busy voting. It was just there peeping, doing nothing. And yet at home, people like my grandfather, for example, he's very old, at 90 years of age, but still goes to the river, fetch water for himself. Instead,
At this age and era.
yeah, at this age and era, yet the evolution is there. Water was supposed to be tapped maybe at their homes, and something that really hurts me is to see the electric poles. Let's say for example electricity has not been dispersed. Electricity goes to his home only. Yeah, that is the only place you can see electricity. And maybe in schools, even in schools, people the children don't even eat at all.
True.
Yeah, I'm calling on him to maybe do something. Or
Well,
else,
probably also we are also to blame.
or else,
Unaona,
or else I'll be there.
The
But
new
it's-
generation is coming.
it's up to us to make a better decision. But you are like one of you has said, politics is a dirty game. I understand he was supposed to be ousted, but he played some games and everything. But siku ya nyani ni 40 atatoka mbele ya siku nyani au siku ya mwizi, siku ya nyani kuteleza, miti yote uteleza.
So, on to my next question.
Wait a little bit.
Okay.
We've talked about unity of youth. My big question is, as we as the youth united?
No,
It depends.
Yeah, no. My answer is a big no.
it's
You
a
know
no.
why? Let's say for example you're going to stage for a demonstration right now. Let's say for example Limo, you want to stage for a demonstration. You call for a demonstration. Let us go to Kimomo Ward and maybe demonstrate on the office of the MCA. Be frank.
How many people will show
How
up?
many youth? Not even people. How many youth
Youth will show up.
Pretty sure I might be alone.
Yeah, you'll be alone.
We are not
also-
thirsty enough
Yeah.
for that change.
Yeah. This is because youth in Kenya, more so in Kenya, don't fight interest in politics because we don't gain anything
In
through
politics,
politics.
yeah.
See, for example, the youth from maybe Kimumu are unemployed. Many of them play football with the intention of maybe getting something from football, but that actually turns them down. So you find for them to channel their voice to the MCA, maybe to give them a job, it is very difficult because we are not united. Yeah,
That's another challenge.
yeah, that is
I think
You wanted to say something?
I wanted to say when you asked if the youth are united, I think we are not united.
Not at all.
For that reason, one, and also for the reason that we are scared. We are living in fear, to be honest. I'm living in fear. I'm not ashamed to say that because it's true, I'm living in fear. Because, number one, my safety is not assured. What if I go and demonstrate? It's a peaceful demonstration, yes. But what if Kanjo akuje? No. Secondly, even if I go and demonstrate, I can demonstrate today, tomorrow, kesho yake. Masiku hazitaenda, I'll just be tired, number one. Alafu pia I'll be scared of sasa I'm going to demonstrate and it's not even going to make change. It's not going to amount to anything, because at the end of the day, it's the leaders and the people seated at the high table who call the shots.
I'd say if you're not thirsty enough, of course, utachoka. There are people who've been doing this forever. Look at Okiya Omtata.
Boniface Mwangi.
Okiya Omtata has been, wacha nikwambie kitu moja. I am not a big fan of Baba because of his maandamano and everything. Because I believe there are better ways to communicate.
of
Look at
channeling
Omtata.
it.
Omtata has made a difference kwa vitu mingi sana. I mean, to save lots of money from big scandals. Just he himself kwenda kotini na sometimes anaweza piketi ya peke yake. But haizi destroy vitu ya watu. Na he has done that hadi amekuja akaingia kwa ile point akaona niache kama if I cannot change from outside, I can change from inside.
From the inside.
He vied to be a senator. I think it's Bungoma and he won. Unaona? So I believe if you're passionate enough, unaweza. But kitu moja ina siasa and leadership, kama wewe ni muoga tu achana naye. Wewe tu be a victim and complain forever. Because it needs courage. Everything needs courage. Everything, whatever you want. Wanasemanga whatever you want, it's on the other side of fear. So if you fear kutoka peke yako na kunini, then you're in the wrong field.
Yeah.
In the wrong field. If other people who are fearful na wakose kwenda, hatungekuwa hapa hivi. If our grandparents hawangepigana na mzungu hatungekuwa.
Exactly.
Unaona?
Yeah.
And sometimes these things inatekingi hata sometimes the price is people's life.
But now is it
worth
Worth it.
Yes.
It is. Mmekombolewa na damu ya watu wengine. Kweli ama uongo? Tumekombolewa. Sasa sometimes unaweza sema wacha isikue ni mimi. Unaona? But unajua something you don't know. Probably that's not your calling or something.
That reminds me of one of my best mentors. One of because I have many. He quoted a story in the Bible about Simon. So Simon was told that Christ was born, and he said, "Now I can die because Christ is born." So like he trusted Christ that Christ will take over the world with his 2 hands. So as the youth, are we ready to? Is anybody willing to leave the world on our hands, or are we going just to screw up everything? Yeah.
Okay. We've seen also venye media ina spread politics sana, because we mainly trust media on distributing information to us. So what are some of the lies that social media may spread about politics and youth, and how youth should navigate through it?
Social media by itself is just a media. You cannot blame the media. There are people who sell these narratives. Sales are very high at the politicians. You
Also
get?
mainstream media.
Even mainstream. But
Yeah.
mainstream media are subject to politicians. You get? Media shapes the narratives. That's why they are paid to speak on behalf of someone. We all know the previous election, the media was against a particular candidate. You think it was for free?
No.
It is paid.
Yeah.
It is paid. In as much as the media is supposed to be independent, the media is supposed to be, they are supposed to to be free and fair. They are not supposed to take sides. But sadly, sometimes they do because of corruption and money and everything.
Mostly they do.
Yes, mostly they do. But it's up to you as a candidate. Of course, we'll not be youths forever. Personally, I have ambitions to become a politician. So I believe media is one of the things that will help you get to your audience easily. So probably I did not get your question.
Yeah, that brings me to one of the videos I saw about the president of Sierra Leone. He said that a youth or a journalist with a pen in his hand is like somebody with an AK-47 in his hand. So you have a choice. To either use it correctly
Right
or
way.
incorrectly or inappropriate. Yeah. So that calls for accountability in ourselves.
As a person.
In a person, that calls for sanctity in ourselves. So as the youth, if we become responsible and claim ownership of our country, then we won't do anything that will cause harm to our nation. Yeah.
I think media has a very important role to play, because number one, not only social media, even mainstream media, because nowadays, like for example, Citizen has Citizen Digital. There's so many platforms that can be used to propagate lies, and these lies are what have an effect on my perception on politics and my even my choice to not participate. Yeah. So I feel like there should be some form of regulation as to what we consume, even if it's fine, see what the bloggers are saying and all that, but make your own decision or choice based on what you know to be factual and not what is being propagated, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, you see, you find sometimes that the media can pigeonhole somebody to behave in a certain way.
Yeah.
That also calls for the societal effect in our lives. Let's say, for example, we want to demonstrate, to stage a demonstration, a peaceful one, of course. We want to stage a peaceful demonstration. First of all, the first form of fear that we're going to have is from our society, our neighbors. People ask themselves, na wanafanya nini? Hii mambo gani wanafanya? Yeah, that is the first form of fear. The second form of fear is you've all seen in the various maandamanos, the youth are fallen prey to the bullet.
Yeah.
They are shot most of the times. But that calls for sensitization as well in ourselves. It's called self-motivation. Yeah. When we realize that there are better avenues to maybe channel our issues, our pleas, then we must use the right one. Okay, Tata have set the pace, so we must follow on the same route.
And I'm afraid that I'm not seeing younger activists. You see, actually, they have a role to play in the society. And I don't know the millennials. Some mnaifanya online.
Activism comes with a cost. Activism comes with a cost.
And it's a calling.
Yeah, if you can bear the cost, well and good.
But it's a calling.
Why can't you be an activist?
I think I don't have that your energy. Naweza fanya in a different way. I'm also an activist in a different way. I can confront them directly instead of hiyo ya kelele kwenda kwa barabara. I know an easier way to do that. I'll go to the office and ask them.
And what if you're not, for example, let's say you have a problem with how the president's office
Operates.
Yes.
Like right now.
Yes.
Probably there are things
I'm just saying, what if it's not
Example
that you have? Yes, it's different.
Okay, sometimes there are things I see I don't like. That's why I'm going there. I could be buying the next money and I'll make a difference in your company.
So you feel like you can be an activist from inside.
Yes. And that would already easy because naweza leta, of course, kazi ya legislature ni make laws. I can make better laws. Think that is I'm a here.
I have a question. You say that you can wait to be elected for you to be an activist.
No, I'm already an activist.
Okay, yes, but the impact you will make, you feel like it will be largely contributed by the fact that you are
inside,
yes.
right?
Yes.
So I have a question, and this is not to prejudice you, but what makes you think that you'll be better off or you'll be a better leader than the leaders that are there now? Considering you can't tell me out of a whole parliament has 290 plus how many people?
There are around
350.
Yeah.
You can't tell me among the 350 people in National Assembly, none of them has our best interests at heart. So I'm asking, how sure are you that you'll be a better leader? How sure are you that you'll not be bribed to not vote for a certain bill? How sure are you that your voice won't be toned down when you're elected?
Number one, I am a man of an honest man.
Everyone says that. But yes.
Everyone says that, but this is me.
Nowadays politics.
You can.
Now this is politics.
One thing I've always, since I was young, I always feel I have a calling to make a difference, and I always stand with my words. I've been a student leader. At some point, I almost got compromised. I'm grateful I got to finish my 4-year course. But my point is, I am one believer that if I want something, I'll always get it, and no one will stand my way. And I've come to realize there are better ways to do things. Si lazima bishane na watu naona. You can compromise, but you know the bigger picture. You've read 48 Laws of Power. You can,
I'm not a reader. But
you can make your enemies do your work easier.
yeah.
You get? And that's what I'll use. I'll avoid this. Asitaki kwa ule msemi anabishana, wewe wacha uzembe, nini. No. Yeah, I'll play like William.
I have a question. If you were to be elected right now, what is the law or the bill that you're going to introduce in parliament?
Number one, I'll not begin with the laws and everything because my people are too poor. Kwanza na mambo. First thing first, I'll use that money that is there to make a difference. Leave alone ile laws za kubadilisha everything. I'll go direct to the people that are affected. You know the laws and the policies haita affect group yako kukosa maji. Kweli maurongo. First thing first, nitatumia hiyo pesa ya CDF kuunda hiyo maji. Number 2, kuna watu wanakosa fee. Pesa ya CDF ifike huko juu ya corruption. You get? I'll not do much, nitatumia ile pesa ambayo imetengwa pale kufanya hivyo. And it's very very much enough. Unaona nikimake to a difference, nione nyumba mingi kuna maji, watoto wanasoma, I'll be contented. My point is, my biggest fear is poverty. And my people are very poor. Nikiraise two standards there living tu kiasi hivi, whereby everyone can access the basic needs. Unaona, shule na maji. Na shule si kulipia hata fee, kujenga better schools, unaona, equipping schools kama ni labs is of standard, unaona. Mchana hiyo unaunda kitu, umeunda ki structure and then una funded by CDF unaona. Just make a difference to your kidogo, lifestyle to change kidogo, you get good water, you get electricity, na get masomo. I feel itakuwa nimefanya a lot. That area ni make kwa hivyo laws. But of course some of the laws yenye ndaweka ni against LGBTQ to protect our culture. That one I'll fight for to the end. Probably that could be the first one. I'll go the Uganda way. That one I'll die with it. I'll go the Uganda way. I am afraid that we are losing our culture and sijui kama nyinyi na hate when you hit, but we must take care of our culture. Let's not be a victim of the waste from wazazi wetu tuwapeleke hadi sisi tuanze kufikiria kama wao. Probably hiyo inaweza kuwa the first bill, but kitu da make sure nimefanya hiyo pesa ya CDF si kidogo, lakini ni kidogo, lakini kitumika vizuri.
Yeah. Okay. How can you create?
Yes, but
You're satisfied.
we shall revisit.
Ikifika
siku ya election. Ikifika siku ya election.
Utaitisha maji.
Yes, we shall revisit.
Fanya yote, you have my vote.
Afanye yote. Unaenda huko chini?
But I think tutaenda huko chini where it's at.
So how can we create space for young people to voice their opinions in political issues?
I think number one, hatuwezi create. Wacha nikwambie kitu moja. Kwa hiyo maisha ukisema ucreate opposition, you'll be limited na utaikuwa ile position where they are seeing what you are doing. Unaona? Utakuwa inakakuru, unaona? Hivi ni sisi tumekuweka hapa. Wewe mbona unashout? Why you raising voice and you are? It's like wanakusaidia favor, unaona? But I'll say let's go out there as youth. Sisi tupiganie hiki kitu. Unaona?
We create our own space.
Let's create our own space.
Tusingoje tu
by ourselves. Ukingoja creative, of course kuna manafasi wanapeananga. Wanasemanga they give 30% to the youth and everything.
But it's limited and it's nika uko kwa box. You can't
But
do.
unajua one thing,
You're just there because the constitution
Jume
says
kwa hapo,
yes.
yeah.
But a good thing ni kwamba there are youths in politics. There are youths earning from politics. I have seen it. I have friends who are there and everything. So if you are courageous enough to go for it, go for it. Let's stop. In as much as we are talking about youth, think about
What are
yourself.
they doing? Yes, they're there, but what are they doing?
Yeah.
Are they talking? Are they contributing? Do they want youths to come and join them?
Unajua kitu moja, siwezi kuja nikulete na
Si ati
utaki.
wako hapo tu na wamekaa. We want to see
Siwezi kuja
what they are
nikulete
doing.
na hautaki. For you umetumia good example. Umesema sasa hivi nikienda ni stage a protest, hakuna mtu atanijoin. So do you expect nipate ofisi niende niwalete? Hamuta ni join kwa noma. Why should you enjoy the fruits when you don't want to enjoy them?
No, me think.
You don't vote. You don't vote. How do you expect me nikulete pale uenjoy? Huku ni votia, you want to come enjoy the fruits za vitu ambazo au kunini you get. Ni sisi, let's be honest with ourselves. Wacha tukue, hata ukicomplain about your MP, some point tukumsaidia sana. You don't deserve hiyo attention yake sana. Unaona? Enda kwa ofisi ya CDF, panga laini, ukipata ukose shauri yako. Ile tu tunafanya to account ni tuone umeweka pesa ngapi. Is it ni kweli imeendea the right people? Probably you're not that vulnerable. Kuna mtu mwenye kweli ana deserve your pesa. Kuna mtu na watoto wengi na hajiwezi kifedha. We make sure they go to those people. Sometimes pia wanasema pesa ndio zimepeana na pesa zimepeana, lakini is it going to channel to the right people?
But do you think that we need a space created for youth to just
it should be
channel
there
their views
for,
and opinions?
Yes, they should be the caretakers of kuangalia pia youth wanashughulikiwa. Ni poa wakikuwa pale. Ndio hata wa bring ile perspective ya youth. Unajua the way we think as a youth ni different from our leaders wakubwa wana think. That's why they always want to relate with the young people. Unaona? That's why watavaa kama sisi, they'll want to dress, they want to do those TikTok challenges
Dances,
with
yeah.
us and everything, because they also want to be youths, they want to stay relevant.
You see now leadership is a calling. If Christ were to leave his cross of the way, you won't receive salvation. So you've said that you can't force people to join you because they don't want. Putting the baseline that leadership is a calling. We must never give tired. We must never fall ill or maybe give up on bringing them on board.
True.
You agree with that?
Yeah, you be patient with them. Of course, not everyone will be on the side. Unaona, for example, when we came here, you did not know me. But by now nikiza kuambia ni aje, unaweza nivotia nikivai. Yeah. Naweza omba kura, hata ukiweza kataa unaweza kuwa na valid reason. Unaona? Unaweza kuwa na valid reason. Sasa as a leader, you take time, you get to learn people. Huyu atakureject and then utakuja umuulize ni aje. Niliona ulikuwa mkali sana and I appreciate. Unaona? Na appreciate criticism and everything. Wewe unaona tunaweza fanya aje tubadilishe, you bring them on board. Unaona? Unamuita unamwambia ni aje. Wewe unaona tukifanya hivi itakuwa better. Very nice. Si uni support, chukue ovai and then tuende pamoja. You get? So usikue na ile attitude ya people don't want and everything. Watu hata ni kama tu marketing. If you bring a new product, for example, against a particular product. For example, this is product A and it's dominant in the market. If you bring this one, it's going to be a challenge to convince me to leave my favorite product. Nitumia yako, unaona? But with the time as you campaign, unaweka pale ma favors, unasema niaje buy this one, get this two free. And then of course una demonstrate, unaonesha this one inafanya vizuri kushinda hii na ina take less time, unaona? Efficiency and everything. Same applies to leadership. Once in a while, apia kwa matanga yenye ujui mtu. Will make an impression. Watasema huyu ni politician wetu, wanakwanga pale, enda mchango. Wanachangia mtoto kwenda shule, huwajui, they never voted for you. Go there waambie niaje, ni vizuri sana to invest kwa watoto. Uwe naenda, nitachangia kidogo, I'll pay this amount, hata kama ni kidogo, enda ukifanikiwa, tutaleta wengine, unaona? Ufai kuwa na hiyo, venye wewe umesema hiyo attitude ya youth, ukienda huko unajifungia, si fiti. Most of the time, watu wanaendanga na wanakaa huko ndani, hawarudingi. That's why unaonanga, those are the wanakuanga one time politicians, mmoja kiti moja, wanaweka kiburi na jaa. Ukikuja by the time unakuja kuomba kura, we have an attitude. Tunakula pesa, tunakula kwako, tunakula kwa
na tunapea mwingine
the opponent, unaona? But as a smart, ukiweza kuwa for example kama mtakuwa leaders, na unajua leadership si politics peke yake, pia kwa corporate pale hivyo. Unaweza kuja law firm yenu uende unasimamia particular region, unaona? And then of course you not everyone is not agreeable. You'll bring policies and then watakuwa rebellious, unaona? Watafeel bona people have issues with you hata venye unakaa tu. Wanasema hata mmepea demo nini, but it's up to you to reinvent yourself, uone how can I win these people? Ndio ikuwe easier to work around them.
And another question is how can young people distinguish real information from propaganda, reliable information from propaganda? How can we distinguish the both of them?
Sawa. Number one, I'd say to differentiate like legit information and propaganda. Someone has always said avoid mainstream media. Mainstream media, their information is, though it's packaged, it's supposed to create a narrative. So if you want to get the real information, get information from more than one source. You get? Do research, get information from more than one source. For example, kama unatumia Facebook, angalia who's your source. They have credible you have credible people pale kwa mtandao, probably Twitter or Facebook, and also have more than one source of information so that you get compare ujue hii ni ukweli, hii ni uongo. You get to get sides and angles, different angles of information. For example, hata kama ni media, kama ni NTV, Citizen and KTN, they have different ways of packaging the information. Try uone from zote na analyze ndo ujue. You get news from all angles. I think that was your question. And then also usishare tu information hivyo direct. Unaweza angalia for example useme somebody amekufa. Na unajua bloggers wanapenda kuwa watu sana. And then wewe upost and then you share. Unajua sometimes it can affect people. No? For example, what if their beloved bump on that information? It will affect them. So get to verify before you share. Verify information before you share. And also, not all information are to consume. Consume zile zinakusaidia because media will give you pressure. Media watakwambia leo dunia inaisha. You remember wakati COVID ilikuja? Wanasema wapi imefungwa ne but after a while 3 months unaona ni aje it's not serious. Mtu mwenye yako unaanza na depression. Walikufa hiyo wakati unaona? So usirely sana. Avoid TV, do books and do books and avoid TV sana.
Mimi niko na very contradictory point.
Be my guest.
Tatusikize. Umuuliza how can we differentiate between propaganda and true information?
Yeah,
I think we can't differentiate because it's only the person who, like for example, someone comes and says I'm vying to, let's say in MCA, and then someone comes and say we hata akikuwa student leader alikuwa corrupted, alikuwa compromised in such and such a way. Most of the people when you are consuming information, most of the time they don't even know me, right? So how can they know if it's true yet number one they didn't even go to school with me. They don't know the validity or the true nature of whatever they are being told. So we really can't know. So it's just about blind trust.
Number one, alafu pia sometimes it's good if they lie about you, at least they are talking about you. And when they are talking about you, it's selling you. For example, wakianza kuongelea na sikujui na nianze kukuongelea, si nimekujua. By the time unakuja kusafisha, probably kama ikuwa that mbaya, you can take to your advantage. You know, wanasemanga there is no, in PR we say there is no bad publicity.
Yeah, there's no problem.
You get? Might work to your advantage. Wanaweza sema wewe ni mbaya alafu kuja waambie ni aje. Nilikuwa mbaya juu nilikuwa na defend. Hata wewe ungekuwa aje. Baadaye mnamrua anasema ilikuwa hivyo. Wewe ni mtu mzuri. So it depends on how you use it.
There are many views, there are many dimensions which you can look at a lie, differentiating between what is a lie, propaganda, and what is actually true. Me, I'll rather look at it from a rare mirror. People lie because of self-preservation. Other people will lie just to harm others. Other people will lie to spark up a conversation. For example, in a relationship, as we will lie in order to spark up a conversation. Maybe I'll just say I saw you somewhere and I didn't see you. Yeah. Now that now culminates to politics. When it comes to politics, people lie in order to win your hearts. We must. I'll concur with her because there is no proper mechanism to know if somebody is telling the truth or a lie. Yeah. What we are going to go through is just let us sift through the process and just hope that the person that you're putting in office is the right person.
Yeah.
But
You can never
at first I said that I asked a question: do we have a proper mechanism to look at the track records of a person? As we say that history illuminates the future, right? So if we have the proper mechanism and the track to see the process of this person, how he behaved since a very long time. I remember in the previous election before the eve of the elections, we had maybe, let's say, a committee was set, and that committee was to maybe interview the person who are going to vie for presidency. Other people fell off the race, others continued the race. That mechanism which people complained, I think should be brought back, and that proper assessment should be done, because there is no proper mechanism in which we can judge that somebody is legit, that somebody can hold an office in the rightful place. Yeah.
It is only you who knows your
But
heart.
if you look at the definition of propaganda, what is propaganda? Propaganda is half truths, half lies.
lies.
You guess? So it's up to you. Use your eye, be keen, do research to get the truth. Another thing, they say politicians are liars, and sometimes I tend to disagree. They use a technical strategic ambiguity. They've said something, but they have not said something. For example, I don't want to use a particular politician, but he said, when I get to when I get to office, I'll employ youths, I'll make sure the youths are employed. But he never said in what way. You get? Saizi, this is a bad example, but I'll use it. Saizi wanasema, we are going to make housing, and we are going to employ youths and everything. You are a lawyer. Will you work in that nini?
No.
You get? But an employee watu, you get?
Yeah.
So that's alasema ndawapea kazi, lakini they don't go to the details. So to some point pia si waongo. They make general statements. So it's up to us to go deeper to listen. Yaje ulisema utatupea kazi. My guy is an IT guy. Utamsaidia aje? Get?
Okay, so
Me, I think as well that calls for responsibility amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it calls for responsibility, because I remember in the speech of our president, of our deputy president in in a university graduation ceremony, he told people the truth
Hakuna kazi.
because it's the truth.
Yeah. Alisema hakuna kazi.
Aliambia watu hakuna kazi kweli. Even
Hakuna
if you're a
kazi.
lawyer and there is
Telling
no
that
job,
to a graduate literally hakuna kazi, you know.
very sad,
is the
especially
truth.
if kama
And you must
walikuambia ni
mark the
aje.
truth,
So
In
maybe
a graduation ceremony telling graduates hakuna kazi.
Maybe that
the
was the
truth.
only platform he could get to say the truth.
That is the truth. That is the reality.
But it's a
about
fact.
life. Even if you're
It's
a
a
lawyer,
fact, hatukatai,
it's a fact. Even if
but-
you're a lawyer, there is no jobs here in Kenya. That calls for
I wouldn't
us,
say
us,
so.
us ourselves to take responsibility and create one for ourselves.
thank you, self-employ
Yeah,
yourself.
when we self-employ ourselves, that is when we're going to create jobs for others, and that does not call for people to cross the Mediterranean Sea and go abroad.
Yes.
To seek greener pastures. Africa
You
is
can
very
create
green.
here.
Africa is very green, by the way.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah,
greener
yeah.
place than Africa than here in Kenya. So people are going there to marry, by the way. They're going to abroad to marry.
I would want to agree and disagree with you, but say we are going off topic. We'll talk about maandamano and everything.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
What do you think about the ongoing maandamano? Ongoing or off-going? Sijui kama imekuwa
It's on and
cancelled or is
off-going.
still going. But yeah, what are your perspectives on the
I am
maandamano?
personally I'm
Tatu
not
wa
against
Kioko.
maandamanos
Uh-huh.
because it's one of the ways to expressing yourself. I feel everyone has a right to express themselves, you know. In as much as I'm on the side of the government, I'll not be ignorant and say it's bad and deny them their right of
Yeah.
picketing, you know.
Yeah.
One day the shoe might change and I'll be on the other side and I'll need to express myself. So it's very right them doing maandamanos, but the way they are doing it is where I
It's wrong.
disagree.
Yeah.
If you kuandamana will compromise some other person, kijana mwingine anafanya bidii, that's when unajua haki yako inaishia pali yangu inaanzia. Unaona? Kama wewe haki yako ya kuandamana inakuja kuniharibia biashara, that's when it's no longer maandamano. Hiyo ni wizi, unaona? Na hiyo ni terrorism, and that's when serikali inafaa ikuwe sharp iseme ni aje, we should get away from this. So kuandamana, they are doing the right thing kuandamana, but the way they are doing it is not
wrong.
okay. Then number two, the reason behind it. The other day wamesema, Azimio wamesema they want the bipartisan top. Nimeangalia their issues. Hakuna cost of living, hakuna mambo ya unemployment and everything. Nimeona tu mambo ya ABC and everything. That means ilikuwa interest ya mtu few people, no. They're just using young people. It's another way I could get the handshake and everything.
Yeah. You see now the right to picket and to demonstrate is clear in our constitution. It's Article 37 there. Yeah. The right to picket is mandatory here. So me seeing people picketing and demonstrating is a good thing. But the worst thing is you see people with stones. Let me be frank. In Kenya, demonstration is very sweet. People really enjoy demonstrations. It's
Yeah.
something that people find merry in it. For example, when I was in campus, we demonstrated because one of our own was shot by a police officer.
So
Was
I
shot by
led
a
it.
police officer. So like, if even if you never planned to be in the demonstrations,
you'll find yourself.
yeah, that thing is very sweet.
Get a chance to
chasing
release
each other,
those
catch
emotions
and
and
loading yourself with
that
the
small
police.
boy in you to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, but now that channels itself to our morals in the society. Like you see, in our current society, we have eroded our own morals. We've found solace in things that are unbecoming, in behaviors unbecoming, and that has led us to engaging ourselves in societal pariahs. Societal pariahs meaning outcast behaviors of the society. If we find merry in demonstration, then we are heading in the wrong direction. Yeah.
Before saying me, I think okay, it's not a bad thing. It's covered in the constitution. It's okay, but if it cost life ya someone else, that's where kidogo it's not okay.
Yeah.
If it costs in a cost life ya a breadwinner in another family, and now children are staying hungry because
Get
you took
more
away
orphans
their
and
you took
widows.
away their breadwinner. Now that's not right also. So
We
as
can
much
take an
as it's
example.
okay, just do it in the right manner.
You should copy France. You can demonstrate for a whole year without harming anyone.
Yeah.
So long as the
Even
intention is
South Africa, even
true.
South Africa, don't even go far. South Africa even demonstrated peacefully.
Just peacefully, not tear gas, no kurusha mawe. Carry sufuria yako kwa kichwa and just sing along while you move.
But honestly, ukikari sufuria anyway.
Okay,
That's what they're doing.
I agree with all of
Kenya iko
you.
na mambo.
I agree with all of you when you say it's a way of people to exercise their freedom of expression. but you do not agree with how it's being conducted and how everything is happening. So may I have a question? Because we cannot keep on repeating ourselves. Do you think there's an end result? Like, do you think even if tutaandamana, like for example, was it yesterday those parents who had they had been swindled by the Finland
Yes.
saga?
Yeah.
See, they demonstrated.
And they have been compensated.
Are you sure they've been compensated?
Yes. On Sunday, the deputy governor, with the former governor, who's our senator, and the governor, they said they're going to reimburse the parents.
So it's something that they're yet to do. It's not something they have
No,
done.
But they have made a commitment before the media and asked that they're going to reimburse
They
the
also
parents.
made a
Okay,
commitment to take
yesterday
people
there
to
were
Finland,
parents
so
who were
anyway.
complaining that
Some of them, not all of them,
Yeah,
they said
some.
like 221 are going
they
to
were
compensate.
saying, some parents were saying that walikuwa kwa list atu wamelipwa and they have not received their money. Like
Also
hiyo
no.
ilikuwa tu gava
Oh,
iliwaekelea.
yes, you are a victim.
No, I'm not a victim, but
Like they just wrote names of those parents and their children and they said that we've paid them and yet the parents never received any money.
so anyway.
But I believe they'll
Anyway.
get justice because the way they're handling someone, it's tarnishing someone's image and it's very expensive for them.
Do you think
I'm pretty
they care?
sure they do.
I think
But the big question is, what road did we pass until we reached there? At least
It was a
some
good cause, but was mismanaged. Because in my home county, Elgeyo Marakwet, there are students who went with the same
Yeah.
slot, and they're very much okay. They stayed in
Yeah.
school and everything. So tuseme tu ni mismanagement in our universities.
tume divert, but
Huko unasema maandamano.
nilikuwa nasema, is there an end to the demonstrations?
Yes.
Like,
And
does it even
result,
end
someone
up
end.
an end result?
Uh-huh,
Does it even bear fruits, whether negative or positive? It doesn't matter, but does it bear fruits?
Yes. it
Have
does.
you ever seen someone demonstrating, especially in this maandamano hii yenye like
Yeah,
saa yenye
baba,
tunaongelelea,
yeah, Raila,
do you think it will ever even bear fruit?
Because number one, first of all, they're doing it for the wrong reason, so it will not bear fruit. The president amesema plan yake how he wants to do the economy na amesema mumpe time.
So if
He's not going to stop because mmeandamana.
Yeah.
Sasa munatumika with someone else because they want an audience with the president.
Yeah.
So wanasema niaje, I have this following. These people love me. I'm like, they're God. Let me use them.
you're saying ukiandamana for the right reasons,
Yes, it will bear fruit.
it will bear fruit.
Yes, it will.
Ni hayo tu.
We will talk about also the international leaders and everything. Yeah, we will talk about international leaders and everything. Ama?
Before we reach there, my last question ndo hiyo ifuate about gender equality.
Oh, in politics.
Hii generation ni kama the girl child don't want to take part in politics. The girl child wameamua tutabaki TikTok.
But
So
it's
what do you think about ladies taking part in
I think it's a gradual process. Ni kama tu pia venye mademu hapo wanakubaliwa kwenda shule and everything. Saizi wanasoma, nyinyi mmesoma and everything. Pia ni the same thing. I've seen my area MCA is a lady. My area MP is a lady. Our Chief Justice is
I'm
a
talking
lady.
about now
the
as
youth.
the youths, yeah.
Sasa
Achana
that's
na
hapo
wazazi.
hapo kuna changamoto. Labda nyinyi mtu.
I'm talking about the youths, yeah.
Utaingia siasa. Hata huko vote.
Hata hakuvote.
I think it's just it's something that it will happen with time. Yeah.
You should mobilize
It's not something that
your
will
friends.
be an overnight success, but
Yeah, yeah.
it will happen with time.
I was going there by
But
the way. Nilikuwa nasema ni aje.
personally, I know of ladies who are
I also have friends who are very
ladies who are into politics who
Vibaya
really want
sana.
to
They
take the
drink,
seat.
they-
So I think we have them. It's just getting that opportunity ndio bado.
Yeah, me, I
But
think
they're there.
me, I think our girls are empowered. They should just take the opportunity that comes with it.
Yes.
When it comes to gender in our country, I think those who have gone in front of us are upset
The face. Yes.
Nakuru is a good example.
Judging-
Nakuru is just led by women.
Yeah,
Wanaume wanafuru wamelala.
judging from the past elections, we've seen that women can fight for their rights. They no more need our support. They can fight for their rights. And that is
Kuna ile sympathy ya kusema
Yeah.
mpeji ni mwanamke.
and we're calling for them to take
Take up
charge,
the space.
to take action, and just vibe for it. Yeah, women can do better, by the way.
They are good leaders by the way.
Yeah.
Some. A few.
Okay, so
But here comes the question. Here comes the question. The problem that comes now is us the youth. You see, the youth when it comes to the female
ladies.
the female ladies, they don't want to be part of politics at all. You see now my friend here saying they like being in TikTok.
But probably tusitumie
Tesa tu wanaume hapo.
let us not use them. They represent a very few.
Yeah. But I
In as much as hata sisi we are very vocal about politics, not vijana wengi pia hawapendi politics, you get. But I believe they're there. They
But we
have
have
friends who are
exactly. I also have friends ladies who are so into politics, and I believe one day they'll have a seat at the table.
Na tutawaleta pia
Yeah.
kuja washare.
Yeah.
Currently, I like what the government is doing, by the way. They're sensitizing the mass. At least now you can see a bigger number of the youth are being interested. They like following up what's happening in their countries.
Yes.
For example, economic-wise, people are trying to understand what did we do so that we are in this hole?
Yes.
And what can we do in order to salvage ourselves from this hole? Yeah, that is something that is very appreciating.
Okay, lastly, politics in Africa.
Politics
It was
in
about
Africa. Yeah,
politics in Africa.
I have very few words about politics. I have not paid keen attention about politics in Africa, but there are few individuals, some key personnel ambayo nimepata kuangalia. There's this guy, the new Thomas Sankara. I don't know that it's called Ibrahim somebody, the leader of Sierra Leone. Number one, I believe in democracy. I believe in letting people, but yeah, their kind of leadership ni ile military. Ukikaa hivi you get outstayed. Ukichelewa tu kidogo unageuziwa. I want to believe, sijamsoma sana, he's young. Probably ni ile shamra ya leadership. But I believe he has a good from body language. Unajua even body language speaks. He's very bold, he's very sharp and everything. I've seen him meet not Trump but Putin, and I want to believe he's a good choice. From the physique and everything vile nimeona. Mtu mnyonge unaweza muona. Even how they carry themselves, how they see. But a courageous man, you can see from their facial expressions, the physical language iko sawa. I want to believe pia vile wamejipanga ni sawa. So politics in Africa, we are going in the right direction, especially that we are moving away from the east and going to the west side. From the west to the east, we are leaning towards Russia and China. I believe we are going the right way because we've been victim of the West. The West have costed us everything. Since they came here, like someone said, it's all been blood and tears. And I believe we are going the right way going into West. I love Malema. I've seen a clip of him being 14 years and he was still vocal. I'm very happy that he's still very little and he has the fire burning. I believe we are going the right direction. As this generation ya leaders wakati kina nani wanatoka wakienda, I want to pray that we are going to get young people who are Afrocentric. Those are my words.
So me, I'm passionate about African politics and African economy at large. When it comes to African politics, we've all known that history limits the future, and we have come from a very long journey, and this is our opportunity to shine. We've seen different politicians, judging from the 60s, akina Mobutu Sese Seko,
Lumumba,
akina Patrice Emery Lumumba, we have Jean Bedel Bokassa. Those were dictators. For example, Jean Bedel Bokassa used to assassinate people because students didn't buy uniform from our wife's shop. Yeah, those are erratic things that we shouldn't engage in ourselves. We've come from an age or an era where dictatorship was always the song of the day. So, me seeing Africa at this stage, it is the step towards the right direction. Yeah, and it calls for we the youth to emulate what the people are doing here. Akina Mwalimu Nyerere, they are a perfect example to all of us. Yeah, and even Malema right now, you said Malema.
I don't believe Mwalimu Nyerere was a good example, but that's a meaningful analogy.
For me, Malema is somehow a very good example. And when it comes to our own economy of Africa, African economy is crumbling. You said that we started leaning to the east rather than the west. Yeah, because the dollarization is killing our economy, and it's the highest time that we de-dollarize ourselves from the dollar and maybe depend on ourselves, do our own African economy with our own currency. Yeah, that is the best way to do it.
Okay, I think we are done. Any comments?
Personally, I'd say we're grateful for our visitors coming through.
Yeah, thank you very much
Thank
for
you
coming.
for supporting our young and growing podcast. Channel.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be
Thank you for taking
time
a
and
topic
coming.
that most
Very
youths don't
controversial.
want to
Most
talk
people
about.
wanakataa, by the way.
Most youths actually don't want to talk about.
Tunashukuru.
Asanteni sana. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for your time. Yeah, kindly subscribe, like, share, comment. We appreciate.
Then the
Asante.
social media handles.
Social media handles.
Oh, my social media handle, Instagram, Kamo with an underscore, then Gin at the last. I'm the chairman of Da Foundation. You can follow Da Foundation Kenya in Facebook, Da Foundation Kenya in Instagram, and Da Foundation Kenya in the remaining platforms. Yeah, barikiwe.
You can find me at Sandra Limo on Instagram.
Una TikTok. Anyway, asanteni sana.
Before we go, kindly, we have the Kalenjin what?
Kalenjin Awards, yeah.
So there are people who would love to shout out, and we want you to
Yes.
vote for them. Vote for
Shakers Foundation Kenya.
Yes, they have been nominated for the
Humanitarian category.
Yes, kindly vote for them. So my name is Kiprotich Limo. You can find me at Limo_Yano across all social media handles.
Yeah. I've been your host. Yeah, Newt. Peace.
Bye.